could you be the one?
Now, let's start with the vocabulary of community-engaged learning. Our discussion will be from chemical reactions to community interaction. Community-engaged learning involves student community engagement. Several terms may be used. Community-based learning is the most common terms used outside the US. Community-engaged learning and community-engaged pedagogy are also one of the most common terms used for this. One of the most common definitions used to define this are the ones coming from Ringel and Hatcher. So their definitions only mean that the students are given the chance to be involved in a society's movement, which can clarify more the course he or she is taking. For example, the first batch of the K-12 programs among school, especially the STEM students, were given the chance to visit plantations. So there, while visiting, they have gained knowledge on how their course will be applied in the future. So nakakuha sila ng mga insights kung ano kinahanglan studyhan nila ni, since that this will be their future work, and of course nakakuha sila ng mga takeaway sa kung unsa pa ang mga complex meanings sa mga substances and matters na ginadiscuss sa STEM. Other examples are science fairs and science week. Next will be community-based research or CBR. It is also known as community-engaged scholarship. So this means that there will be many researches made by the students or any institutions that will give the benefit to the society or the community. So for example, way back 2018, there was a group of grade 12 students who were assigned to make a shampoo out of malunggay leaves or Moringa oleifera, and this shampoo is supposed to treat hair problems. Then, the respondents na ilahang napili are the residents of Barangay Akmak. So they will be the one who will try the shampoo if it is effective or not. And the results of the research will also benefit them kay ang product man will be given to them at the end of the process or at the end of the research. So dira mo gawas ang community-based research wherein the community will benefit from the result of the research. Then, we also have science shops. The aim is to foster a working relationship between knowledge-producing organizations and community. So dere magbinayloay og ideas ang community og science shop. So in this one, the community or the civil society organizations will give the problems or requests to the science shops, and then the science shops will tap the stakeholders and they will be making research, and after the research, the results will be given back to the society. So in the Philippines, we have the Data Science and Technology Corporation. Finding vaccine for coronavirus is an example of a community-based research, wherein the society gives the problem of having this virus or having this pandemic, and the institutions and our science shops will be making researches on how to resolve this using the vaccine. Now let's go to developing a shared understanding of CBL and CBR. The focus on names and terms is necessary because misunderstandings can and do arise due to confusion between the CBR and CBL projects described in this chapter and volunteering activities or student work placement. Here are the difference between work placement or internship, community engaged learning, which are the CBL and CBR, and the volunteering activities. So each of them are different. So dili na to dapat ma-mistaken ang voluntary activities kay CBL siya or CBR siya, or internship kay CBL or CBR siya, because they are all different. Then we have CBL and CBR in chemistry. The way CBL and CBR are applied to chemistry education has been evolving over the past decades. In the last 3 years, there has been a marked increase in the number of publications and their geographic spread. Then they did the search strategy, wherein nag-search sila og mga keywords na nag-deal with the application of CBL and CBR. And here are the table on what they have got from the Web of Knowledge and Google Scholar. There are also some articles na wala siya na count as CBL and CBR but bear a great relevance in improving chemistry education. Stephen Truss suggested for having a chemistry badge for Girl Scouts, which shows that there are also other venues rather than school that can be involved. Now let's go to chemistry CBL at secondary or high school level. So all of the articles in the table showed the application of CBR and CBL projects. It is also promoted in high school. Like for example, there was a project wherein college students will be helping the high school students on the hands-on chemistry. And then after that, those high school students will be teaching also elementary students about chemistry. So it will make the project easy. There are also projects na naa sa table but they are not categorized as CBL or CBR. So some examples of this are graduates working in the locality to explain something scientifically and to give some new inventions to the community. But they are not identified as CBL or CBR. This is sometimes due to the place lack of awareness for what is CBR and CBL, and also mag-include po siya sa mga culture sa society nga na-involve na wala po kaila kung unsa din ang CBL and CBL. For those who want to establish community-based learning and community-based research projects, there are a number of resources and guidelines. Some discipline-specific and some general that can be consulted. Many of the resources originate in the United States. There are many websites that can be visited to know more about CBR and CBL. Resources relevant to CBR can be found in the Living Knowledge website. It is an international science shop network. And there are also several models na na-develop for planning. And one of it kay ang OPERA. O. Exploring community partnership. P. Identifying the type of community-engaged learning students will be engaged. E. In facilitating reflection. R. And assessing. A. To what extent the learning objectives were met. Then we have the 6 R's. Roles, relevance, reciprocity, reflection, risk management, and reporting. When initiating a pilot CBL or CBR project, the approach recommended is the first one described by Boland, to identify suitable activities already in place that could be modified. Possible examples include assignments in which case studies are used or existing outreach activities that do not receive academic credit. The implementation of CBL and CBR will be now examined by the perspective of 3: students, HEI or school, and community. First to be examined are established and potential benefits, and next will be the potential issues and obstacles. So how do learners gain from CBL and CBR? The following table will describe the benefits that students will receive. Now to the next lesson. Learners describes feeling a sense of responsibility to ensure that they did not let someone down. They enjoyed working in an identified common goal that had a clear idea of where their roles are going through. Graduate attributes develop citizenship, employability, problem solving, resilience, and self-motivation. For our last topic, we have high-impact educational practices. They increase the rate of students' retention and students' engagement in class. CBL and CBR have a strong positive effect on engagement in deep approaches to learning as well as self-reported practical, personal, and general gain. That would be all. Thank you for listening up to the end of the video.